Don't be afraid. Hold on. You'll find your way.
Welcome to Growth Made Groovy, where we talk about everything from healing medicine music, working through life challenges,
and developing awareness and connections as we heal and grow along our journey.
Hey everyone, I'm Caroline Rena.
And I'm Noel New.
And welcome to Growth Made Groovy. Who was supposed to say that? I think we got that right.
I think it's all good. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
It's a take.
It's a take. We have a really, really good show today because we already did that once. I figured I'd throw that in there.
Throw it in there.
Yeah. And this first song that we're going to do, or the song that we are going to talk about, we're actually going backwards to go forwards, which is okay. That's what we usually do in life anyway. So we're good. It was written on April 17th and it's called Exactly As It Is. So do you want to say something or do you want to play it first? What you want to?
Yeah. I mean, I always say a few words, but I mean, We'll definitely get right into it, but yeah, Exactly As It Is, is really, I mean, the key meaning to me is acceptance. Just hearing that exactly as it is just an overall tone of acceptance. So acceptance is the key. And with that, let's hear what we got here.
Let's hear what we got.
All right.
Even though I don't remember, was it really that long ago?
All right.
Okay, this one's going to be a little hard to talk about.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a vulnerable one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who does this? Who cries when they're doing a podcast? Oh my God.
That's part of the growth.
I guess so.
The growth made groovy.
Mhm.
And,
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the thing that's hitting me the most is how we wrote that a little April, May, June, 2 years and 3 months ago, almost to the day, a week short. And it's interesting. I've always found this like incredibly like, wow, that how life goes in cycles. And where, I mean, obviously you're going to talk about you, but where I was 2 years ago at this time when we wrote this was, you know, how we talk about the mountain where you're going around and you come up to the next level, but you're seeing the vista, but it's a different vista. You know how we've talked about that? That's what this feels like. It's like I'm at another point in the mountain looking at that vista again and working through things that are similar, but at a different level, like you talk about next level stuff. And that's why this is being powerful for me right now, because that's what's happening. So yeah. Whew. All right. If I can make it through this, it'll be a miracle. Go ahead.
You're already making it. That's good.
Through. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of powerful stuff in here. So I mean, just right off the bat, even though I don't remember, it wasn't really that long ago. I like to play on time on words on that. The feelings that I just surrendered are healing me while I'm in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I to me, it just kind of goes with it. What my mind can never know is every time I let go of things that held me back from what might have been, now it's time to let the light in. So literally, this is going through the dark night of the soul, as you know, could put it, or just, you know, challenging times of growth and grief and loss and, you know, healing, you know, actually the trauma, but after the trauma and healing through it by just experiencing feelings. Really that whole first verse.
And how important that is. Like you said, feeling feelings. I mean, I'm usually good at doing that. And now I'm like watching myself do it. And that creates feeling feelings is the flow, you know, it like creates that flow when you allow this stuff to just flow through you. I don't know how to say it any different. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, even with, again, every time we come on, every week, we talk about the song and it's like very closely related to things that are happening in the world with me, you know, whatever, with you, however that looks. And it's the most, I don't think that there's a most important line. I think that the line that hits the most with me right now is that it's time to let the light in. Because once you walk through that and let these feelings flow and surrender, and which is what I'm doing, I'm going through a process of, you know, shifting things again in a different way, moving, creating things in my life and letting that light in, because there's been so much darkness, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
Well, yeah. And that's really where the awakening is, you know, letting the light in. And you're waking up to who you really are, you know, through the darkness, through the pain, you know, the suffering as it was.
And talking about suffering, though, it's like we both learned that suffering's a decision. Pain is going to always be there. We don't have to suffer through pain. We can feel the pain and let it go, but we don't have to suffer. And sometimes we create our own suffering by resisting or, you know, fighting it or holding back or whatever, and not.
But you resist persists, and that's where the suffering is actually experienced.
Yep.
But go. You take the next one, then I'll
okay.
comment.
And I barely knew my mother, and my daddy couldn't rise above, as I tried to find another to bring my family back to love. All the madness got me nowhere. Falling down, couldn't get back up. Ooh, why did you make me do this? recognizing that we are now aware, we are whole, more than enough.
Yeah.
Like, say something. Oh God. Okay. I mean, you and I went through something really similar when we were writing this. We were learning about each other as we were doing the music, as we were learning about each other, and we both had the similarities. I think everyone does in relationship to mother, in relationship to daddy. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really powerful. Holy crap. Anyway, we're always looking for ourselves in the other person, and that's not where we find it.
No, that's right.
And whoa, madness.
Madness got me nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. When we figure out what that madness was and recognize that it never gets us anywhere, the chaos, the assumptions, the fight, all that stuff that we go through with ourselves mainly starts there, with each other, with the world, whatever. It doesn't get us anywhere. And during that process, the whole falling down and not being able to get back up, I don't even know what to say about that, because it's like having someone there to help you back up is the way to get back up, because sometimes you can't do it for yourself. You need that support. You need that hand, to help you. And the last two lines, recognizing that we are not aware, we are whole, more than enough. Talk about this all the time. Most of us feel not good enough. And when we walk through all of that and recognize through awareness that we are whole and we are enough, and we're big. We're trying to squeeze ourselves into this little box, societal box or something. And that's not who we are. And we bring people into our lives who push us back in, and it's like, we're trying to get out and they're pushing us back in. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. And our higher self doesn't want that. It wants us to be big. Even when we feel small, it still wants us to be big. So I've always said there's like this push me, pull you thing going on inside of us between our higher self and our ego. And I'm connecting with this personally right now because I'm walking through it with this process, being down here. I'm actually down in, back in, I'll say it, South Florida and Central Florida picking up my stuff, because I've been in Kentucky for a while, and I'm taking that. But as I'm walking through this, I'm like seeing people saying goodbye, and walking through all the stuff, all the relationship and things that I've been in down here. And that's why this is hitting me so hard today, I think, because it feels different. It feels really powerful, I guess. And I am enough.
That's right. More than enough.
More than enough. Your turn.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, going through stuff as a kid, with mom and dad, and having expectations of them and them not meeting the expectations, and them having expectations of self, of me or you or any of us. Then we take that into a relationship, as I try to find another, bring my family back to love, really the family is not even just the external, but internally back to that sense of collective love, security. And then by doing all that, and then all the ups and downs of doing that, especially in the creating that in relationship with all the woundedness, and the attraction of other woundedness and rescuing and all that, that's the madness for me. It got me nowhere. And by the way, I mean, I heard this years ago, and probably he heard it somewhere, but I'll credit Wayne Dyer saying, nowhere, separate, just put a space between the W and the H, and it's now here, the same word. Where are we going? We're going nowhere, which is now here. you know what I mean? Which is everywhere. It's everything. But so, the madness got me nowhere, falling down, couldn't get back up. And then that's where the surrender happens, recognizing that we are now aware we're whole more than enough. That's where the awakening comes in, who we truly are, who I truly am. And then our little bridge there goes in. It doesn't have to be a certain way to be the way that it is. It's just, again, the all encompassing acceptance, surrender and acceptance of, it doesn't have to be a certain way that I need it to be, want it to be, see it to be, to be the way that it is. And then unfolding what really is, quote unquote, capital IS, it's deeper,
Yeah. What that means for sometimes, like 2 years ago, I wouldn't have really understood what that meant, now the way I see it is, things are the way they are in life, and we tend to put a spin on it with our pain, our trauma, our how we were raised, our perceptions, the awareness that we have in the moment, and the way things are just the way they are. I mean, if you walk into nature, if you go for a walk in the woods or whatever, that's just the way it is. You walk through the woods and the trees are there and the wind breeze blows and the birds are chirping and, the water, if you're passing by a creek or something, the water's running or, whatever. So that's exactly the way it is. When we live in the world, we think that it's the way we see it, but it really isn't. It's just, if you just walk and don't think, there's nothing to be there. There's nothing there. It is just the way it is. It's just, you're walking in your own space and you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. I don't have to think about this. And I see that, but okay, that's what's happening over there. And that's what's happening over there. So it is how I learned it to be. I don't know if that's the right, way to say it, but whatever, who cares? But that's how I see we tend to want it because we want to be right in what we know, and we want it to be a certain way. We want so desperately, especially also, like you were saying, in relationship with somebody else, we want it to be a certain way because we want that for ourselves. And it's not that way. When it is the way it is, it becomes the way it is for both people, not just the person who wants it that way. And it works in any kind of relationship, really, because everybody wants it the way they need it, and it doesn't. And being open enough to allow it to be, just to be, to grow, to shift, to move, to flow, whatever that is in the relationship or in life or whatever that looks like, it's still the way it is. That's just how it is, So that's. I hope that wasn't too philosophical because it sounds,
Well, sure, but I could sum it up with, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, but our last line, I'd have to say, the last little phrasing there.
Yeah.
I think some of the best that we wrote, again, not to be, whatever, just as I'm reading it, you know what I mean? Singing it, it's one thing, but as I'm reading it, I'm like, wow, a higher love we have known, connecting us to a string of souls, clearing out the mess so that we can live life exactly as it is. I mean, really, that's the whole process, a higher love we have known. So it's not like we're coming to know it, we're coming to remember it, but we've already known it, this highest love that truly is, the sense of source, the sense of, the truth of what we are, connecting us to a string of souls, which is all, sentience, life being, in this planet and beyond, if you will, but at least that we're aware of here, that we're all connected on that level, clearing out the mess so that we can live life exactly as it is. And the mess being all the egoic stuff in there of, trying to control fear and control, and just letting go. And that's the ultimate surrender, to live life exactly as it is, which is, freedom, which is the fulfillment, which is the, being really alive, and not just surviving in this, in this life here. And so, this short little ditty, I mean, but it's a powerful little tune, that really does. Yeah, it really does bring out that essence,
Being able to recognize, especially when having a conversation with any other, it doesn't matter who it is, and recognize where and observe where we come into play ourselves in that kind of relationship with that person. Anybody, it doesn't matter. I've gone through this with three people over the past week. And when I start to listen to the other person and then observe like where I come in with that stuff and be able to really hear them, that's the connection right there. That's the connecting, that's the clearing out the mess. And when all that settles, there's so much peace there. It's like, I can't even put that into words. It's just hard to describe that. Just being able to be able to walk through something like that with, someone like you and I had a talk. I mean, I've got to say this, you and I had a talk, and it was like so powerful for me to watch what was happening, observe what was happening in that talk. And when we got to the end of that talk, it was like everything just, and then it was peaceful and loving. And, no matter what we've gone through, no matter what anybody goes through in a relationship, when you can get to that space, it's like, oh my God, I've never experienced anything like that before. It was so much peace there and love and connection that I was blown away. And it's really helping me to see how I get to be from that point on, and this is the same girl 5 years ago who was being told that my 10-year-old was the one running your life. So, that's huge for me. And it's like, come on, get from here to here, go here. It's not that far away. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, yeah, I mean, that's why this is so incredibly powerful to be doing this with you and sharing these songs that we wrote and, and connecting with the words again. And because they really mean something. And I'd love them to, to just be shared with people. That's all. I don't care who, if one person hears and feels it and connects and they're like, oh my God, I feel that way too. That's, so that's mine.
I mean, it's, yeah. And I mean, the catharsis that happens through it, it's really nice, to be able to look back 2 years later and obviously 2 years of a lot of life experiences that have happened. And, just seeing us playing there and in my old office and, I remember the reason why these are back to back is we literally did the video last week. We did Home Again. We literally did the videos on the same day. We just changed clothes. We did this one first. And then we did the Home Again second. And now you've got your book back. And that's why you're saying that the order that we wrote it and we missed a couple, and that's fine. But I knew that when I saw that Home Again was after Where I've Been video wise, I knew that we did both Home Again and Exactly As It Is on the same night. We just changed clothes.
Well, we recorded it on the same night because Exactly As It Is, we wrote on the 17th of April. And Home Again, we wrote on the 23rd. So we must have recorded it after we wrote Home Again.
Yeah, exactly. Like 2 weeks later or whatever it was.
Yeah, there was another one in there too that we're going to talk about probably next week.
Yeah, We're Never Apart. And that one we never made it to video or anything, but we did update it a couple months ago now. But
so maybe maybe that's the one I'll find some more pictures or something, or we could, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, that's really that's again, so we're at a prolific time in that area, that time frame. We're just, a lot of writing and singing, recording and we were performing a lot back then at almost, at least an open mic a week, sometimes 2 or 3.
I love that. That was so much fun.
And it was just fun.
And I was scared shitless. Oh,
yeah.
I was scared to death to get on.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Bleep. Right. But right. You were, and you just walked through it, and it was fun. But yeah, this song really, and I remember playing again. And I also remember playing this song at the treatment center where we were doing the music therapy. And one time it really hitting people, especially that end, it's not written that way, but the way we sing it, life exactly as it is. And I take a solo at it, and then you take a solo at it at the end, and then it just ends. It's always been a real, just saying it in that.
It's like a prayer. It's almost like a prayer.
Yeah.
When you were saying that, I was just thinking, may I? I'm going to sing. I don't know how good it's going to sound right now because I have no voice. Life exactly as it is.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. I have no voice.
Like a closing.
I think.
Like a closing.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know. That's what it feels
good.
like.
Yeah. I mean, it's always, that's been a good one, and we have to hit some high notes in that too, which is fun. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of challenged with that one too, but that's okay. I knew it. I was listening to the words, not the high notes, because I was still new.
Yeah. No, I mean, but again, especially on these videos of us doing it, it's always a one take live, and it's it because there's no place to like cut and start again. There is no looping or sound or patch in something. It's literally just a live take. So,
and we were having so much fun when we were doing this. I don't think we really gave a hoot that it was back then. I mean, I was still learning just how to do that. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just looking. You notice how many times I'm looking at you and because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. But yeah, it was just about having fun and sharing the music.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely, and it's good to relive it. And that one I actually did it. I remember that was the one I did with the lyrics on it because it was easy to do. So, and I had a thought that for our EP songs later on, since we have pictures of them all, that we had drawn up just for the singles, I'm going to do a lyric video for each of those. So like when Butterfly or You'll Find Your Way or King for a Day or Everywhere, all these different ones that we did there, I could just do it with, I could make, because just a quick lyric video, and we'll just use that with the sound. But these are fun looking at these old ones for a lot of reasons, So perfect timing as usual, exactly as it is, as we experience whatever comeuppance in our lives today, this week, to just surrender into it, to live life exactly as it is in this moment, now here, that's all we can do. And just be open to anything that comes up. The feelings might not be great, but just, surround yourself in the acceptance exactly as it is, even with grief and loss. Because that's really all the sadness and anger generally it is. It could be some other things, but generally, especially if it's from, dark old stuff, it's just unresolved grief, So just let it be exactly as it is,
That could be another song. Maybe someday we'll do that song.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I think I learned that one.
You got it.
On the keyboard.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, we'll see.
So.
I bared my soul there, so I don't know what else to say.
Well, you're ripe for the Baron. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're ripe for the Baron.
I usually am. I don't know.
This one a little extra sauce. As you going through something, but handling it quite well.
No, thanks. Thank you.
So to everyone out there, much love, treat yourselves well, be open to yourselves and to each other. I'll do my best to do the same. And, and any comments, feedback, more than welcome. As a matter of fact, we request it, here on the Facebook group, in the comments, or, when we put it on YouTube, on the YouTube comments, whatever you may do. just we're totally open to hearing your side, what comes up for you and what your thoughts. So much love to you and yours today and tomorrow, and have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next week.
And I'm going to say something real quick that you
Please
always
do.
say, but you didn't. Be gentle with yourself and firm with your healing.
Beautiful. I love it.
Grow groovy.
Yes.
See you next
week.
week.
Take care, everybody. Much love.
Bye.